next bit, we'll talk about the state nomination allocation. I did a chart which we're probably going to show you more directly about the difficulties across in different states, and I'm taking 3 states for the comparison: New South Wales, Victoria, and WA. The education department shows currently the student enrollment number from January to April 2024. You have that much of numbers in New South Wales and very close numbers in Victoria, and only less than 60,000 students in WA, and you have the same allocation, right? Of course, it's only student numbers, but then if you look at the student number, it kind of give you an indication of the temporary resident visa, because it has been like this for years. Yeah, Victoria and New South Wales, always other states have the most international students, so it gives you indication about temporary visa holder and also international application, foreign applications. So in overall, you see the supply and demand ratio is much higher in Victoria, which means competition is much tough in Victoria and New South Wales, much easier in WA. So just give you an indication, at least you're still in WA. It's probably something good in your scenario. And that's the data we're getting from the department, education department. New South Wales shares about 38% of international students, very high, about 40%. And Victoria shares about 30%. So, well, we can even put it simply like Sydney and Melbourne, pretty much. Sydney and Melbourne accounts for 70%, at least 70% of the international students across Australia. And you'll be also to notice the countries, right? Which countries have the most. Sydney is Chinese, Nepalese, and India, the first 3. Melbourne, you're looking for Indian, Chinese, and Vietnam or something. And if you're looking at this is Queensland, shares about 14%. Which is also very high. China, India, again, top 2. But then if you look at WA, it's very interesting. You guys on top 2. Okay. Bhutan is the second one. India is first one, and very close. So some basic views about immigration situation in each state this year. Queensland, because of very limited number and high demand, Queensland have 14%, about 15% of international students, and they only have 1,200 places. So it's going to be very challenging for anyone in Brisbane, pretty much, looking for migration. And then I've been seeing a lot of clients consulting moving to WA, which is going to add a little bit of competitions in the States. They will move, after the invitations start to happen. New South Wales and Victoria, although they have 5,000 places, but they have, together about 70% of international students. Lots of demands in New South Wales as well. South Australia, Northern Territory, Canberra, and Tasmania. These other states have we call preconditions of eligibilities. One of the key eligibility is residency. I'll give you an example. Tasmanian and Northern Territory actually get increased quite a bit of number this year, but we haven't seen a lot of people starting to move or starting to prepare for moving to, let's say, Northern Territory, because Northern Territory asks you to be resident for 6 months before you can apply for anything. So that's a potential risk. If I move, for example, if I move from Sydney to Darwin for 6 months, and 6 months later, the program shut down. Yeah. So, and that's Darwin we're talking about. It's hot, and everything. So a lot of people hesitated to do that. So any state have the requirements of residency, kinds of keep people to think twice about the programs. It's going to be sustainable. It's going to be stable throughout the financial. What are going to be the same next financial year? So lots of people will wait to see how this whole program unfold until making a decision. WA currently is only states do not require residency requirements. When I say residency requirements, I mean the length of the residency. You can be here 1 day or 2 days. You can still declare yourself as a WA resident. You don't have to be here for 3 months or 4 months or 6 months. Unlike other states, you had to be there in a certain period of time. So that's an advantage for WA in terms of attracting interstate applications. But one thing keeping people moving to WA is a distance, right? 5 hours. And yet, lots of people don't want to fly 5 hours. Even 2 years, the year before last, that financial year, WA have over 8,000 places. Very good policy. We're suggesting a lot of people from Melbourne and Sydney to move, and actually a lot of people taking into action. So I think that's something keep WA quite special among the apart from other states.